Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump went 106 in endorsements during the past couple of months, including yesterday, Tuesday. Now, he went 106. You can try to say, well, he didn't do well in Georgia, but Herschel Walker won, Marjorie Taylor Greene won, and David Perdue lost to Kemp. Okay, so what? I don't understand why. The Bush dynasty is done. They're now firmly embedded within the Democratic Party, which is another reason to not vote Democrat. Bernie Sanders and the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld Lincoln Project people and the Republicans who still think that Bush was a good president are now voting Democrat. Think about that for a second. Think about how dysfunctional the Democratic Party is. That's why I voted for President Trump, or I'll vote for Trump or DeSantis in 2024. One of the main reasons. Okay? Trump had a great foreign policy, great economic policy. We now have a foreign policy that makes no sense at all. Zero emphasis on diplomacy. Only on sanctioning one specific country and helping prolong the worst geopolitical nightmare in modern European history. So Democrats could then blame what's taking place there for the inflation that they caused, 8 to 9%, for the interest rates that are going up while we have a recession. Hit subscribe, by the way, to the Stock Market Crash channel. I have a very important segment, but also I have a very, very important segment on the Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or below channel. I talk about Shiba Inu and why it even exists. Definitely go to the Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or lower channel and go to the Stock Market Crash channel below. If you want to support my work, by the way, to my new Patreons, thank you so very much. Share this segment everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost at 200,000 subs, and become a member of this channel, ladies and gentlemen. He goes 106, and David Perdue was basically a never-Trump Republican who lost to another never-Trump Republican. But Democrats and media are saying, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, my God. Trump is really losing. He's losing his touch. The man went 106. Sorry. It's not like he can just always, pick the candidate that wins. And so he had Marjorie Taylor Greene, but he had, and I'm not a fan, I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay? I think that she gives political momentum to Democrats. But I am a big fan of Herschel Walker. He is awesome. Herschel Walker is an inspiration. Not only as a legend, so you have the vintage Herschel Walker magazines from the 80s right here on my wall. But when you hear him speak about the country, when you hear him speak about where he wants the country to be, he's not only a legend in terms of football, but he is a millionaire, multimillionaire, business owner, former mixed martial arts fighter also. He was never afraid to actually, go into different industries and be very, very successful. Now he'll be the senator in Georgia, in his home state of Georgia, because he'll defeat Warnock. He's a legend within that state. Herschel Walker is. But Herschel Walker is great friends with Trump ever since the USFL days. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where he has 100 wins, 6 losses. And if Perdue loses to Kemp by a wide margin, that has more to do with Perdue than it does with Trump. Okay? And Stacey Abrams still believes that she's the governor of Georgia. So there you go. That's the Democratic Party. When they don't win, they never, ever, ever in a million years accept. And what they'll do is they'll either blame another country, or they'll blame another country, Or they'll just cheat Bernie Sanders. Something like that. Or they'll say that they'll say that another country was helping Bernie Sanders while at the same time helping Donald Trump. They'll never admit anything. They'll never admit their losses. It's always some kind of grandiose plot from another country with Democrats. Or it's because voters are bigoted. That's why. Or it's a combination of prejudice, Kremlin-backed operatives. They'll never just say that they lost, but they'll expect everyone else to accept losing. And he's not perfect. The man is imperfect. So so this is a quote from Trump. A very big and successful evening of political endorsements. All wins in Texas, 33-0. Overall for the cycle, 100 wins, 6 losses, some of which were not possible to win, and 2 runoff. And so, he's not going to... Also, Georgia politics is a little bit different, perhaps, from other states. You're looking at... In addition to the fact that, like I said, Purdue was a never-Trump Republican, along with Loeffler, for a while. So it's like, here's the Fox News article, Trump victory in Republican primaries despite key losses. Trump claims victory in Republican primaries despite key losses. The real issue is if you go anywhere from Predicted to the Cook Political Report, all the polls, everyone is expecting the Senate, not just the House, which will be an absolute, Democrats will get obliterated, but the Senate as well. So it'll be firmly a Trump Republican Congress. They will investigate mashed potato brains, our president and his son, endlessly. That's all they'll do. In addition to hopefully enacting policies, laws, passing legislation that help get us out of this economic catastrophe we're in. The current administration is being sued by 14 states and oil and gas associations. Why? Within the lawsuits explain that mashed potato brain Biden's policies are causing fossil fuels, oil, gas, to skyrocket in price. When Democrats state, it's price gouging, they haven't read the actual lawsuits from oil and gas associations. He wanted to come in. Democrats came into the Oval Office saying they want to save the planet. Then they coincidentally changed tune like they usually do, and then they flooded the country with strategic oil reserves. Wow, you go from saving the planet, decarbonizing the economy, to worshiping fossil fuels that you made more difficult to extract from the earth. Now you have oil prices firmly over $110 a barrel. And then you have Democrats, he doesn't control oil prices. He doesn't control the inflation. He doesn't control the weather. It's like, no, you imbecile, but his policies influence all of these things, not the weather. But he'd find a way to mess that up too. The policies of the Oval Office, the Senate, and the House influence inflation, the commodity prices that are through the roof. When Democrats and media pushed to end economic activity 2 years ago, and they were able to do so because they had a firm grip on social media, Twitter, all of media, they were just absolutely the apoplectic response to a serious topic. You cannot shut down economic activity and cause 22 million people to be unemployed and then give stimulus checks to the tune of $10 trillion in terms of fiscal and monetary stimulus and pretend you're the good saviors of humanity and of the country after you cause the poverty with your policies because you say, you had to. All the experts and bureaucrats and multinational organizations stated you had to. It's like, no, Trump should have never acquiesced, but at the same time, he wanted to restart and open up immediately, like within a month or so, month and a half. They said, no, too soon. Now we're experiencing the repercussions, especially of Build Back Better, They came in without any plan for economic growth, and now we're seeing that. Trump goes 106, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason for that, okay? The country does not want the Democratic Party anymore. It's pretty obvious. Look at your life. Go to any major YouTube channel on the left, major liberal YouTube channel. They're just talking about how irrational Republicans are. They're not talking about inflation, GDP, negative GDP, recession, eventual layoffs. Life is more difficult for crime, homelessness. Life is more difficult in mashed potato brains Biden's America. Trump, like, everyone had objectively a better economy and a better foreign policy under Trump. They just didn't like his tweeting. But now you get, what do you get? Like a tougher life just because media in DC had a meltdown. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now to this channel. Go to the stock market crash channel, but also go to the Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or lower channel. I have a very important segment there. Go to both channels right now and hit subscribe here. Thank you. I'll be back in a couple